Hello and welcome to episode 4. I've done a bit of work on the platform. I'm going to show you me with it being rubbed down after being glued together, filled in, and I'm going to paint it up as well. So you'll probably see some techniques that you wouldn't normally apply. I'm saying that because I'm just winging it as I go. I've got some painting experience, but for this kind of thing I'm just seeing what looks kind of right and going with it, which is what I'm sure many people are doing. If you have a little watch, you'll see how I get on and leave some comments, see what you think. And next time I'll try my best to improve on it. I've enjoyed very much this process. I'm over 200 subscribers now. Sorry, I'm a bit poorly this week. I've had a bit of a bunged up face. As you can probably hear in my voice over the video, I get worse and worse. I'm recording this after doing all the work, so I probably sounded alright when I started. But anyway, I'll get it all on and you can have a little look and see what you think. So I think it's all dried now. I've left it for a bit of time. I'll hook back my filler. How wrong I am, but because this is wood, I thought, well, wood filler would be good. And then I can kind of like just paste it in and wipe off the excess, I was thinking. And then I can primer it and see how well it comes on. I can like carve in any other detail I need to. And I was just going to just sand it back afterwards, so. So I've filled in the gaps of both. I'm going to leave them to dry now, and I'll let the PVA glue completely dry as well. And then once I'm happy with all of it, I've got the back bit which will need some work, definitely need some work on that one. But I think I'll work out all the details of these little beasties first, and work out how to paint, or that kind of stuff, and then I can obviously join this one in and glue it on eventually. And I need to paint up my my ticket building. Obviously, people need to buy tickets, it needs to look nice when they go in, so I'll try and match my little unit down there. So yeah, on to the next bit. So it's all dry now. It's not all falling apart like when I showed you before. I've got this wood filler stuff. It's kind of soft. You can like rub it with your finger. You can take the tops off. Get an old yoga mat. I need to get a nice work area to do things, so it doesn't matter if I get anything mucky. But take a blue Peter. Here's one I made earlier, and I've sanded this one down nicely. I'm going to spray it up afterwards. But all I did to sand it was I got these mouse things where you put sandpaper around them. And all I did was just give it a rub and it starts taking it down. So I just do it for the sake of this. I'll lose a tiny bit of detail in places, but I can paint it back in. what I'm going to do is on the end here, just to help it blend in a bit better, just going to take off that initial edge. So when I have that and the ballast comes to meet it, it can all meet nicely. So yeah, so I just sand the rest of it, work on the different parts, and I'll show you the spraying part. So I'm going to use some primer grey from Halfords, if you can see that, if the sun lets it be seen. Maybe put the camera around here. So I'm going to use some grey primer, or primer grey, as Halfords like to say. I've given it a good shake already. I'm going to spray up the steps to the platform as well, which should be cool. I've given it all a little rub down, a good blow, so then get some of the grain down. But I know that once I spray it, like when I've varnished things in the past, the grain raises, so then I need to sand it again. I can also see any imperfections, like, because I can see wood fill out, it's like stained that, but I don't know if it's still sitting high or it's just stained in. So if I give it a good spray, I'll be able to see any imperfections and then give it another sand. Okay, so I'll just let that all soak in. And yeah, we give it a little light sand and then we'll do another coat. So it looks like it's pulled up the grain in little places, but more in little, like these little dots, these little spots, right here especially. So I'll just give them a rub down and give it another spray and see what happens. Let's give it a spray. Welcome to my mess. So I was looking in some magazines and see how these platforms are looked after, and you can see, I guess, concrete with some dirt and, not dirt, but I guess like small stone and everything to walk around on, and then got paving slabs with just the end painted white. So I guess I need to do something similar to that and have some different shades of grey for that. I've currently got this and a much dark, almost black grey, and I don't really want to use that, so I'm just going to stick with this, see how this comes out, and I can mix this with other things. Don't know if this will last me the whole lot, but I'll try. I've got various brushes, and I'll have a go. Looked in another book, it's got a platform in York. I'm guessing it's in York, it says in York there, and it says also here from York. So we can utilise that information, and I'll have a go at doing some painting. That should work. Mix it a little bit with the water. It'll last a little bit longer. And we'll just put it on, see how it comes out. That's pretty much exactly the colour that I wanted. The brushes are very nice, but hey, it'll be fine for what I want to do. This will be a lot of you watching that will be disapproving of my technique, of which I can only apologise if it offends you. I'm not an expert at this sort of thing. So I'm wondering if you can see the difference in colour on the camera. Yeah, you can see it. I've got a little light, see if that brightens it up. Yeah, kind of. There we go. So I'll put that aside. So I mixed up kind of a stone colour, because these would have been little paving slabs, right? So I thought I'll always just run it on here, and if I hate it I can always just paint it grey again, because the next bit's going to be white. No, it's not so bad once it kind of soaks in. We could do with a second coat, which isn't so fun. But when you look over these bits, basically I've got my primer on there, and I'm not kind of doing anything crazy. I've got some of this kind of creamy colour here, like, well, not creamy, but like a mortar looking colour, so I thought that'd be good. And I mix that with a tiny bit of grey. And we get kind of a, yeah, like a cement colour. What I do is add a load of water to it, thin it off, and when I'm doing it I add water to the bricks to help it drop into those cracks. So I leave the brush loaded up, and I just kind of load it up here, and then I can come in afterwards and take care of it. So obviously I've got some on there, and I get the water on and I thin it down and help it work its way into the cracks. That is the
platform. Really pleased with it. I just need to do a bit dry brushing, but we'll wait for that to dry and go from there. I've been doing the brickwork on here. It's probably not the best brickwork you're ever going to see, but you're not going to see much of it because it's going to be at certain angles. So I thought, well, this will be enough. And then if I really hate it, I can always rip it up and do a bit more in future. But basically, I have mixed red and brown together to create this, what looks like a red brick colour. And all I'm going to do is I start up in this corner because you can't really see it, and I kind of just might have a bit too much here. Brush is a bit wet. There we go. And I kind of just dance it across all the surface so it doesn't go in the cracks. And it's basically got kind of a greyish, it looks very grey. I put that other mortar colour in, but it doesn't really show up. But that doesn't upset me. Right, moment of truth. Let's see how it looks on the layout. That looks alright. Almost looks like the real thing. Let's get the other one. Might go the other way around. Though it shouldn't make any difference. Just glue them together, so they might be holding a certain form. No, actually, that's worked out alright. Let's line them up. Get things like around here. That can go on. Oh, we could always have this here, so we just see the detail a bit more. That's the middle one. It's a bit big, isn't it? Because you've got the people that are getting off, they have to stand on that ledge. But there are only small people, so it might be alright. Maybe I can have a smaller one at some point. And then this, kind of need to finish this one off, but it needs to be flattened off a little bit as well. And then there's the town building, which needs to have some painting. Not the ticket building, sorry, that is. Got our horse and carts. How's that looking on the camera? That looks, I think that looks alright. Zoom nice and closely, because I was worried that the paving slabs wouldn't look so good, but that colouring, I think, possibly I've done a good job there. I guess I'm the main person that's going to be seeing this. I think you guys might be watching 1 or 2 episodes, but yeah, that's alright. The brickwork isn't too bad. It's a bit dark at the back over there with that brickwork, but I can lighten that all off, that's fine. But I'd say that isn't bad. So for my brother, 3 years ago, he's into his railways, and tried to record it this weekend when I went up. I managed to get my dad's railway recorded, so I'm going to do that on an episode. But he got me these. I think he got me these. These are chickens, so I can have them on chickens and cockerels. So it's and cockerel. So maybe there's only one in there of the cockerel. Well, there should only be one, otherwise they'd be fighting. So that's chickens and cockerels, or a cockerel, sorry. That's that. And then he got me these Dart Castings GWR platform oil lamps. So they can go on here, which would be great. So I'll drill little holes in the platform, drop them in. I can paint these up, look up the right colours to paint things, which will be cool. And then he'd also got me some of the benches. So it looks like there's 1, 2, 3 benches, and I've got to solder them together by the look of it. They're the brass kits. It's got very difficult instructions there, so I'll follow that. I think the trickiest bit will be the soldering parts. That's if I have to solder them, or just a bit of super glue might be alright. But I've got 2 sets of them, which is brilliant. And then I was going through the other bits, and I think he got me these. I've got a Station Master, hands in pockets. Obviously, he's having a bit of a chill time. And we've got a porter reading a paper. Hopefully it's a nice interesting paper about some intellectual things, so we can make sure the railway runs really well, like giving advice to the station master. So he can sit on my benches once they're done. And then I've got a signalman with token, that's cool. So that's just down there, so I can figure out a nice way of doing it. That means I probably need a signal box if I'm going to have a signalman. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed yourselves during all of this, and maybe you learned something if you haven't done this before. Nope. There we go. Clean that track.